Hi guys, and welcome back to C64 Sundays. It's been a bit of a break. One of the reasons is, if you look at this game, you may recognize that this is Lords of Midnight. It was published by Beyond Software, developed by Mike Singleton, Antony Taglione, and Malcolm Hallon. It was published in 1985, originally on the ZX Spectrum, I believe, and then also on the C64 and the Amstrad CPC. But recently, it's also been released on Good Old Games with updated graphics and all that fun stuff. Now, one of the reasons why it's taken me so long to get into this, into playing this game for C64 Sundays, is because I really didn't feel like I could give a decent look at the game. It turns out one of those reasons why C64 Forever, my main 64 emulator that I use for these videos if I'm not playing multiplayer, I can't get the frickin' restore button to do anything. Now, I'm going to press restore real quick here on this one. Come on, you can do it. Restore. There we go. You can choose your actions. There's a lot of things you need to do in this game. You got to recruit people, you got to fight bad guys, you got to search for items, all kinds of stuff. If you can't push the restore key, you're limited to when you're forced to do something. So the only thing I could do was combat, which wasn't really helpful because you start with 4 characters. I'm going to press seek on this. It'll show us one of the things. So I'm in a tower right now. When you seek in a tower, a voice calls to you, giving you guidance on how to play the game, some hints on what might be going on. So he has found guidance. A voice calls, looking for Lord Mitharg. You must seek him at the keep of Mitharg. It is dawn, and Luxor is utterly invigorated. The ice sphere is quite cold. Luxor is slightly afraid. He has with him the moon ring. He thinks again. So that's kind of how this stuff works. I don't know what direction we were facing when we first started this game, but the way the game works is keys 1 through 8, I believe, are the direction keys, and not the number pad. There was no number pad on the C64. So you work your way around, and you can look in various directions. Luxor is the Moon Prince. He is one of the 2 main characters that you don't want to have die in the game. You start with 4 characters. Let's get this back into perspective here. So the background story is this: the land of Midnight, which is suffering from an ice age of 1,000 years, faces a deadly threat. Doomdark, the ruler of the northern country, has awoken anew from his hibernation and has gathered a huge army in the deepest winter, driven by the endless might of his ice crown. Only a handful of lords around Luxor, the Moon Prince, and his son Morkin has still the courage to organize resistance, but time is running out, while Doomguard hordes flood the land of Midnight. So that's what's going on. I've got a map here off screen that you can't see that's going to help us out. There's 2 ways to beat Doomdark. The first way is to campaign. If you manage to find all the military leaders and their armies that are scattered around the land and recruit them, as soon as Doomdark's attack is fended off, he can try to conquer Ushgarak, the hostile fort himself. This is the most time-consuming way to beat the game. There's a lot of micromanagement, and you have to. It's like a strategy game. You gotta, fight several lines at the same time, and try to figure out how to beat them. And the troops move around differently every game, so it's not the same game every single time. And there's a lot of people who have different ways of thinking it's the best way to beat them. But if the capital city of the Land of Midnight gets overrun by Doomdark's troops, game is over. The other option, which is very Lord of the Ring-esque, is to have Morkin seek out and destroy the Ice Crown, which is Doomdark's hold of power. So up at the very top of the map, there's a Tower of Doom. If you get to the Tower of Doom as Morkin, you can take the crown. Only Morkin can take the crown. He's immune to the Ice Sphere. There's a lot of talk going on here before we actually get into the gameplay, and I understand that might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I feel like I'm not going to be able to remember to say any of this stuff while I'm trying to play the game. So that's the other way of winning. You have to go get the crown, bring it back. There are a few characters that can actually destroy the crown, or if you bring it to the right lake, there's a lake you can throw it into and destroy it. It's very similar to the Fellowship of the Ring, trying to go to the heart of the Dark One's land, which I can't remember any of the names right now, but that doesn't matter. So, at the start of the game, we have 4 of the possible 32 characters that we can have, and no armies. But we can recruit other characters, and certain people can recruit armies to themselves. So it's kind of weird. Certain people can recruit certain people. So we got Luxor the Moon Prince. He's the Supreme Commander. He carries the Moon Ring, which makes him immune to Doomdark's magic. He can also recruit all the Lords of the Free and the Lords of the Fae. And he can lead troops of the Free. We have Morkin. Now let's see if I can get to him here. Oh, sorry. Wrong F key. Oh, my F locks off. Okay, here we go. Morkin. He stands at the Tower of the Moon, looking north, to the Downs of Shadows. He's also immune to the Ice Sphere. He's the only person at the crown, the crown at the top of the map. He can only recruit Lords of the Fae, but he can't lead any troops on his own. He's constantly in danger because he can't do that. You want to kind of have him travel with other people so he has protection of their armies. But every once in a while you got to let him go on his own to kind of sneak his way around. We have Corleth the Fae. He can also recruit Lords of the Free, and he can lead an army of Fae soldiers. And then we have the Wizard. And these guys all have different looks too if you go look at them like this, right? There's Corleth the Fae. We saw Luxor a little bit earlier. Here's what Morkin looks like. He actually looks like a little bit like a wiener to me. Oh, he's on a horse though, so he's got that going for him. And the last guy is Rothron, the Wise. And he's actually at the Tower of the Moon too. If we hit enter, he's a wizard on a horse. He can recruit every character in the game, but he can't lead any troops. He's a really good fighter. If you stick him in a tower, he can actually fend off full armies on his own sometimes. So, pretty much what's going on here is we got to try to go through the land. There's over 3,000. There's at least about 4,000 fields which you can occupy with various things going on. The game has a really good way of drawing out the first-person view. However, like I said, I'm not the best at strategy games, and I am probably not going to win this. We're going to play for about half an hour, see how far we get. I probably will lose the game by then, but I got a little map with me here. It shows me where points of interest might be, and you can see them when you're in first-person mode. So let's give this all a try. We're going to start off with Luxor the Moon Prince at the Tower of the Moon. He's looking southeast. Let's see what's around the Tower of the Moon. Plains of Blood are to the... Oh, that's the Shadows. I don't even know where the Tower of the Moon is. Oh no, he's looking at the Downs of Shadows. That's perfect. Okay, so Plains of Blood are to our east. There might be people there we can recruit. To the south is the Mountain of the Torkin. It's got some stuff going on there too. Let's there's a cave 2 blocks to the southeast. So let's see if we can't figure out how to point our guy in that direction. Here we go. Spacebar moves you forwards. We're going to be using the keyboard for this whole thing. There's the shadows. Okay, so we get in the shadows. There should be one more. Oh. So we have to fight these guys. Now we don't have to necessarily fight them right away. But I'm going to. So we're going to hit our buttons. They might actually be on the next... Yeah, they're on the next field. Okay, so we're going to just continue on our way. Alright, he's at the cavern. There is going to be a fight here. We are going to fight them. They slew him. Okay. That's not good. I told you I wasn't the best at this game. He is sloon. We are not going there with anybody else. We got Morkin here. He's looking east. You know what? We're going to send Corleth the Fae to the east, and we're going to send Morkin with him, actually. So how far can he get? 2, 3 over. Before he goes any further, we're going to get Morkin caught up with him. So we got to head east. Yeah. 1, 2, and we should see him on the map here. Yes, 3. We're now with him. It's kind of weird that they show you them ahead of time. So right now in the first person view, we don't see him, but he's with us. I'm going to continue moving on. How far can Morkin get? Oh, there's apparently wild horses in this next zone. If we didn't have them, we could grab them. There is a village up ahead. Perhaps we will head towards that village. There are some ruins there as well. The ruins can be good or bad. Actually, there's a fort. Can we make it all the way to that fort? No. But even though time has already passed for him, for Corleth the Fae, time has not finished passing yet. So we can catch him up with Morkin. One more, puts him with Morkin. He could keep pushing on, but we're going to leave him here for this turn. Next up we got our wizard. And where's he looking? He's looking up north. Do we want to send him somewhere different than everybody else? Maybe we do. Maybe we do. There's a couple of towers up and to the left. Maybe we'll try that. I haven't tried that before sending him up there. So we want to go not north, not west. We want to go northwest. Okay. Give this a try. The game did come with a less detailed map than the one I'm using that showed you kind of the general direction of where to go. And you can see once you start getting to places, you can kind of see what's going on. So we can see that there's a bit of ruins to the north a little bit from where we are, and mountains in the direction we're facing. We're going to continue following those mountains right up to the edge of them, and we should be able to go up a little bit of a valley between two sets of mountains and hit up some towers. And that will lead us... Oh, we're going to be led all over the place here, but we'll check out what's going on in them. So that's it for him. At the end of your turn, you hit 0. Night has fallen, and the foul are abroad. 1 day has passed since the War of Solace has begun, and now we're stuck waiting as the game loads up its AI moves and figures those out. I guess this might have been a better time for me to point out all the things I was going to point out. However, we are not off to a very good start at all. I don't think that we are going to win this game. But you never know what might happen. Hopefully, nobody gets caught out at night here. This is when all the other forces move. So they can't move during the day. You're safe from there. They'll have full armies sitting there ready to go. They won't attack you until night. You can attack them during the day. You're better off actually egging them on to attack you while you're in a fort or a tower, as you will be able to do far more damage to them. I have not successfully destroyed an army unit yet. However, I have high hopes for this game. We're going to try to build up an army and keep them together and push forward and actually take somebody out. Will I seek dawn? Yes, I will. That means it's our turn. Here we are, we're facing north still. You can see there's an army there now. They don't necessarily know where we are until we do something. So, I'm going to just take a look around here. I'm looking northwest right now. Take a look west. See what we see. Where are they headed? Maybe wherever they're headed is where we want to head. And beat them there. There we go. Too many keys. They are headed southwise, it looks. You can't really tell who they are, but I'm assuming they're the bad guys. There is, to the south, a fortress up in these mountains. However, I don't want to have to pass through any forest. There's ruins just on the other side of this forest as well. Nope. A couple little jerks there. I don't want to head in that direction. Well, do you know what? I'm going to stick with my original plan here. I'm going to look to the northwest. Move up a little bit. The mountains are right up there. Are they right against me? I don't know yet. Let's look north and see what we see. Does it look like a passageway between the mountains? Kind of. No, do you know what? I think I want to go northwest once more. That's 8. One more to the northwest. It says he's in the mountains now, though. Mounds of Ashmar. Yeah, that's... Ooh, those are dragons. Alright, there be dragons there, and I do not want to fight them. What's to the northeast? It's east. There we go, northeast. Anything to fight me here? Alright, back to the northwest. We are going to move that way once more because it gets us around these dragons. So I guess we are crossing through the mountains. And there's a forest there. That means we're actually getting kind of close to this tower. So we're going to move once more. Those guys are there. We're going to look to the north. Hopefully they haven't noticed us. Yes, this is the way we want to go. That forest up ahead. Behind those mountains are hidden two towers right next to each other that we can try to check out. I'm going to, however, pull up my options menu and hide. Yeah, that's what he's doing this turn. Let's head back to Morkin. Here he is here. We're going to move up ahead to this fort. And there are several places around that the fort is a safe place to be, but we need to push on. See up ahead that thing that's a little bit bigger than a regular fort? That's where we want to get to. We're going to be able to make it there this turn? Perhaps. Probably not, though. Looking east. Oh, a little too far there. But there are wolves. So we are going to wait here. Change up our turns. We're going to go to Corleth the Fey. He's going to work his way over there and try to recruit ourselves a new man. Now, he should be able to get just as far as Morkin. We are with Morkin here now. We're going to turn towards the wolves. We're going to move up to the wolves. We're going to go back to our friend Morkin. Move him up to the wolves as well. As you see, our friend is stuck in the middle of them. We are going to change back to this guy. We won't be able to move forward until we fight the wolves now, is how this works. So we are going to fight the wolves. We have two of us here. He slew the wolves. Less than 1 hour of the day remains, though. So we're going to have to just move up. He's stuck there. There's going to be some guys before we get to this, this citadel thing. However, actually, now that if I change the view a little bit here, perhaps we won't have to fight those guys. Yes, and there's a new lord there for us to get to join us. So, back to Morkin. He's no longer stuck with... it's funny how it was daytime when he was looking ahead. Stuck with those guys. However, we're going to look towards the citadel as well. These guys are safer together than apart. I think that's all we can do this turn. So we're going to end our turn. Unfortunately, I have no trap cards to place face down before we do so. 2 days have passed since the War of Souls has begun. Hopefully, things will start looking up a little more. I kind of sent our wizard off in a poor direction. There are no citadels near him here. So there's no chance of him really recruiting guys. Unless we manage to cut across through these towers. There's a sort of a string of towers that sort of lead to another citadel. I'm not sure if that citadel is full of goodness or not, being it's halfway up the map, but you never know, it might work out. If he can stay in a tower at night, he should be pretty safe, which is my hope. His magic powers give him the ability to kill guys pretty hard, which is good. This is probably one of the only downfalls of playing one of these games on the C64. Right now it's not taking too long. The longer the game goes, the longer it's going to take for the AI to decide what it wants to do every time. But on the plus side, it's not them just following the same path every single time. You're just trying to beat a timer by making the right moves. Let's seek Dawn. We're still okay here. The individual characters and whatnot, this Shadow doesn't know where they are until they do stuff. Once they do, though, they start tracking them down and they start sending armies after them. So it's good to get them to recruit some people first. Let's do that right away. That was the wrong button. I wanted F5. We are going to move up into the Citadel. We're going to move Morkin into the Citadel as well. Just to keep him safe. You don't want him just sitting there by himself. There we go. Now we are going to Can he recruit anybody? He can only recruit the Fae, I believe it was. So let's... oh no, he can't recruit anybody here. Let's head back to Corleth, the Fae. And he can attempt to recruit the Lord of Shimmerthal? Shimmerl? And now we have him in our party. Look at that! Alright, so the next nearest citadel is pretty far to the east. So what we'll do is we should probably... well... Do you know what we should probably do? Is try to recruit men. Alright, let's see how many guys he's got now. 650 warriors of the Free guard the citadel. He thinks again. Morkin commands no warriors and no riders. Corleth the Fae commands no warriors and no riders. But the Lord of Shimmerl commands 1,100 warriors and 800 riders. His warriors are utterly invigorated, and his riders are utterly invigorated. He thinks again. Alright, so what we can probably do is try to recruit some more men and see if that works. Let's see what we got now. He's going to be last in this line again. 1,200 men, 800 riders. Okay, so we're not doing too much. Perhaps what we'll do with him is move him up into... There is a fortress. Do you know what? We should keep them all together because we only have this one army so far. Now, there is up towards the mountains of Kumar. Those are, of course, near the White Castle. There is another citadel where we could get somebody. However, I think we're going to head towards the mountains of Dawn. They're to the east, slightly to the south. So if we head southeast twice and then go straight east for a while, we'll get to it. Hopefully that works out to our favor. So he's actually going to be the slowest one in our party right now. To move him to the southeast would be this button. Let's try to guess correctly here. Oh, southwest, off by 2. Alright. Does that make sense? It certainly does. Yeah, there's 2 villages. So we want to move southwest twice. Now, what we might do is keep all these guys together. That's not who we want to be yet. There we go. Corleth the Fae. Looking east, we want him to be looking southwest, which is not that one. Southeast is what we want him looking. Move to, and you can see now, we can see the army on the field, and we know that army's ours. And it's got one of our guys in front of it, which is good. Move him in. And we're going to take Morkin. And we're going to move Morkin same direction here. Whoops. Yeah, we don't want to go south. Boop. Now with Morkin, we're actually going to look south now and see what we see. There's a monolith here, so we're going to move south. Oh, and there's a keep there we could stand in. Oh, we don't want to go that far south, though. So, at this monolith, we can do such a thing. We can search, and we might find something interesting. We found the sword Wolfslayer. So that's good because now Morkin is safe from wolves. If he attacks, he will kill wolves for sure. We need him to look east now, though. And this should take him back into our friendly troop zone. And we want to continue moving east. Now, however, do we want to go into that village? If we can make it. There is another monolith on the way here, though. Let's just go this way as far as we can. Yeah, I think we want to keep going this way. It's going to be night now, though. We'll get everybody else caught up with him. He went more out of the way than everybody else, so we shouldn't have an issue getting everyone to catch up if they just go east. And you can see you can't really see individuals on the map, which can make this a little harder until you catch up to them. Which, look at that, that's perfect, perfect timing. Now to select our last guy, we're going to have to actually press a different button here. You have to press the delete key, or the insert key, depending on your preference of naming the key, to pull up a list. And number 5 is Shimmerl. And we need him to look east as to help out our friends and keep them safe. So let's move him along. And you can see how turns are going to become longer and longer as we get more and more men with us. He could keep going, but we don't want him to because we want to keep our guys together. All right, here we are here. We're looking north. We're going to move north once more. Oh, choose do not hide. We're going to move north once more. Let's try looking northwest is what we want to look, which is way down here. Key number 8. There's still wolves there. We just want to go back north. Get past these wolves. Maybe we'll head this way now. There should be something going on here. If we look to the west now. I do not see these towers that are on the map. It says they're in between this forest and this mountain. Maybe it's just something interesting here. West of the frozen wastes. Oh, there's an igloo. That's kind of weird. Am I not where I think that I am? Perhaps I am not. Hopefully I am. On the plains of Ogrim. Oh man! I'm like frickin'... No, those are both called the plains of Ogrim. That makes this confusing. Ah boy, I might be in the wrong pass. Well, you can't go out in the frozen wastes, I don't think. Let's try looking to the south a little bit here. That's the cave that I think it is. Seems to make sense where we are. I should be looking to the forest. That makes me curious. You know, perhaps we'll head to this cave just to see what we can see. No, we got to go back. Go back to the northeast. We're going to go through this forest to get there now, but it kind of tells me where I am a little better. There's the second tower. That's the tower I was looking for. There should be 2 towers directly to the south of us, according to this map, but it is not working at all. Perhaps they were destroyed already by that army we saw passing by. I don't know if that makes sense, but it does to me. Let's end this turn and see what happens. Now, this is definitely a game I suggest people check out. Like I said, there is, and this is not in any way sponsored. I haven't bought it myself, but there is a version of it on Good Old Games where you can play, I believe, in both graphics modes. I haven't looked into it too much, but they have updated graphics, and you can use the mouse to control everything instead, and I'm sure the AI turn is much faster. So, if you want to check it out and want to pay for it, that's one way of doing it. Boy, definitely is starting to take them longer to take care of this business. Quick sip of coffee to keep me on my toes. Gotta keep my brain working hard enough. So if we go, if we're where I think I am in these 2 different spots, we should possibly be able to get to the next citadel with our army within the next turn. And we'll probably get to that tower with our wizard friend.